Hey guys, it's Jake here again with Back to Roots Outdoor and Bushcraft. I'm here in a new spot. I'm actually just over the Oklahoma border from Texas. It's a little area called the Black Kettle National Grasslands. It's actually owned and managed by the U.S. Forestry Department, so it's kind of a free game place. Just leave no trace afterwards. There's not a whole lot here, but whenever you're living in the Great Plains area, you know, Texas Panhandle, Western Oklahoma, stuff like that, you kind of take what you can get. But today, I'm not going to do an overnighter or anything. It's actually been probably close to a month since I've done a video before. Things have been really hectic with work. Just got the car out of the shop. It's amazing what kind of damage a kangaroo can do to a Nissan Rogue. Long story I may explain later. But no, so I wasn't able to get out for an overnighter today. It's just going to be a few hours out here. I'm probably just going to set up my tarp just for a little bit of a windbreak. It's mid-December right now. It's not really cold out here. Matter of fact, I'm probably about ready to take this flannel off. But the wind does have a bit of a bite to it, and I am going to have a small fire out here. I'm going to cook up a steak for lunch. Maybe play around with a little bit of stuff, you know, see what I can and can't build, and just something I can put together and take down real quick. I mean, obviously I don't want to spoil the landscape, but yeah, stick around and we'll see what we can't get done in these next few hours. All right, guys, so you can see my pack dropped right here. I don't know why I'm zooming in on it, but this is pretty much where I'm gonna go ahead and set up the tarp. I think I'm just gonna do a shovel nose. The wind's coming from this direction, so if I think I'll do a shovel nose and attach it to this little tree right here, and I can have my fire down in here. Like I said, it's not going to be a big fire, just something where I can get a bed of coals going, cook up a steak for lunch. Excuse me. But I think with that shovel nose configuration, it ought to block a good majority of the wind, so I don't have to worry about any kind of flying embers. But first things first, I'm going to clear all this area out. There's a whole bunch of deadfall here. I brought my axe and my saw with me. Looking like I may not need it. But like I said, I'm just going to clear this out real quick, and once that's done, we'll get the tarp put up. So in the past, you guys have heard about me talk about my Bushcraft Outfitters Sil Nylon 10x10 tarp. This is it right here. Packs down really tiny. This thing weighs just over a pound. I've said it before, and I will say it again, and probably again and again. This is an amazing piece of kit. It's a little on the spendy side. I think this was $150 when I bought it, like $149 something. I could be wrong. It's been about a year or so since I bought it. But like I said, first time that I'd used it, it was a torrential downpour. Kept me dry all night. But I'm gonna go ahead, I've still got some bank twine and 550 on this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up, and a shovel nose. Like I said, I'm gonna tie the main support here, have it staked down, actually probably about over here because the wind's coming from this direction more than anything else. And yeah, we'll get this going and start getting some firewood collected. All right, so we got her set up. Stake down here. All these stakes, just dead sticks that I found on the ground. I tied it off either with clove hitches and wraps or bowline knots. I'm a big fan of the bowline knot. It's one of the most versatile knots that you can tie. And no matter how much force you put on it, you'll always be able to untie it. Got a stake down here, and then obviously here's your front. Now yes, it is a bit lopsided. I've got more on this side than I do this side. It's just the way it wound up in between those trees. But that's okay, because with less on this side over here, I've actually got a bit of a ground sheet. This is a bit of a large tarp to be doing this with. I said this is the 10x10, but then again, I'm not a small guy. I'm about 6'6", about 250, 260. But with this here, let's say if something did go downhill out here on the trip, you know, the car wouldn't start or any number of things. I mean, this is the Great Plains. Weather changes on a dime out here. You know, we could get like a blizzard or torrential rain. For some reason, I'm not able to leave. I fit in this thing absolutely perfectly. Like I said, I've got a bit of a ground sheet here. I did stake off right here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the frame, but I put one small stake there because I had some 550 cord still tied onto these little cloth grommets. And I just kind of threaded these together right here. And you can bring both sides in to where you can get more full coverage. But this is my first time setting up this type of tarp shelter. Wanted to see what it was like. I do like it. I do see the versatility of it. I think I'm definitely going to use this on another one of my overnighters. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to try it out, give it a shot. Right now, I'm going to finish just kind of clearing out some of these leaves. The wind also did change direction a little bit, so I need to focus more on that side, getting all the leaf debris and detritus, or litter, if you will, all cleared out. And yeah, then I'm going to get that fire going, and I think I might try my hand at building just a basic chair, something I can lean up against. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a place to sit. I've got my steak thawing out right there, if y'all wondering what that is. Had it in the freezer last night. It still froze solid, so hopefully a couple hours it'll be okay. But now found this old punky log right here. I think it'll make a good seat for it. And what I'm basically going to do is just make a tripod. I've got a couple of stakes there. I'm going to make a shorter one there, and probably lash some shorter sticks to it for a backing. See where we can go from there. I want to get all this done before I actually start making the fire. We haven't had rain out here since about mid-October. I really don't want to be the one responsible for burning this county to the ground. I like it out here. There's no one around. I mean, it's not very densely wooded or anything, and it's really weird for this being the sun maybe right in y'all's eyes, for this being a national grassland, and for it being managed by the U.S. Forestry Department. I mean, you go on their website and it says, I don't remember how many thousands of acres it says that the Black Kettle National Grassland is, but it's something in the thousands. It's 4 figures. But it's not one continuous plot of land. It's a bunch of little plots all broken up around these small West Oklahoma towns. So again, like I said, I take what I can get. But yeah, like I said, I like it out here. I'm probably going to be out here again just because it is secluded. And this plot right here is actually right next to where part of the Washita River runs through. Had to cross over that coming out here. Apparently I have cell service. That was my phone that just went off. No, and before I leave, I'll definitely show you guys the part of the river where I'm camped next to. It's really beautiful out through here. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to get going on this chair here, and once that gets all set up, shouldn't take me too long. I've said that before. And then I'm going to start building that fire, and hopefully the steak will be good and defrosted, and we'll get that cooked up. So, just going to lash these 3 together. Like I said, make a simple tripod for the back for the seat. Well, she ain't quite what I had in mind, but regardless, it'll give me something to lean up against whenever I'm eating. That, and I'm kind of running out of time out here because I do have to be back home at a certain time. So I'll work with it. You know, I can play around with it at a later date, see what I can't come up with. And that's why we practice these skills. Okay, so I got the base for the fire blade, my small stuff, my little bit bigger stuff, and then my logs. Yeah, there's only 3 there, but I've got 5 right there. Again, this isn't going to be a massive raging fire. This is just going to be something that I can cook that steak up on. All I need now is some tinder, and if you look around up on that hill and down over by the river, I got plenty of dry, dead standing grass. So I'm gonna go get a bunch of that, get my tinder bundle made up, and get this fire going. All right, so first and foremost, got the tinder bundle. Break this up here. May not even need this full amount, but it is what it is. Want to make sure I get a good one going. I'm not fighting with this, because like you guys have heard me say before, I am by no means an expert. I am relearning all this stuff, so my fire skills aren't exactly top notch. And that wind is really starting to blow now. But let's see what we can't get here. Shooting out again. There, we got some going. And because there's so many twigs around here, I just went ahead and got some of them as well. grass certainly works well. Alright, so while that's burning down, getting me a good bit of coals. I told you I'm thawing the steak out here. It's getting there, but it's still pretty froze there in the center. Unfortunately, due to where I live, about the only outdoor activities that are really prevalent out here are hunting and fishing. Not that I have anything against hunting and fishing. I enjoy them both. But that's not what I'm looking to do today. That being said, I looked all around the city that I live in for a foldable stainless steel camp grill. You can't find them anywhere in Amarillo. It doesn't happen. I looked at Walmarts, I looked at Targets, I looked at academies. They've closed down the Gander Mountain here. We don't have really any other outdoor stores unless it's just the stuff that sells clothes. So that being said, I was pretty much left with two choices. Either cook it directly on the coals, or I can cook it on a stick, which is what I'm going to end up doing now. Now to do this, you need a green stick. So I found one, acquired one, however you want to put it. Make sure it's, or for me at least, I'm going to have a fork in this because this is going to be a really thick, heavy steak. So what I need to do is take my knife, take all the bark off of these two here, carve them down to a point, and when that's done, I can prop it over the coals, just like so, with the steak skewered on there, and have another forked stick up underneath it to help prop it up, and just let her cook. And when it's all said and done, that's pretty much what you want to be left with. And as you can see, made it a little wide, but with it being green, I can flex them and I can skewer this thing really well. Alright, so I got the steak on. The thing is really, really thick, but I got a decent bit of coals going. I'm gonna guess, with as thick as that thing is and the fact it's still a little bit frozen in the middle, 10, man, maybe even 15 minutes per side. And I just realized that I forgot to season it any at all. No salt and pepper. That's awesome. Well, is what it is. It'll still taste good. So it got a little overdone in a couple of spots, but I think all in all it'll be pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and eat on this and probably start packing up. See you guys here in a minute, because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to just sit here and watch me chew. Alright guys, so finished eating the steak. It was a bit overdone here and there. Nothing too bad though. It was still good and juicy in the middle. Like I said, I wasn't going to film that. I know you guys really don't want to sit here and watch me eat food. That's just ridiculous. Works for some people, really don't think it would work for me. In any case, I'm letting the fire die down right now. It's just smoldering out. I'll definitely pour some water on it before I leave here. Just got to break camp down, what little camp I had, pack up, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. But hey, I really appreciate you guys sitting through this video. I mean, I know this was just kind of a short thing, just a little day out, but you get out when you can. And, you know, like I said, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Work's been really hectic, the car getting wrecked and all that, which I didn't tell you guys that story, so reckon it's a story for another time. But no, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and break camp. On the way out, I'll see if I can't get a couple shots of the Washita River so you can guys see where I came through at. Excuse me. But no, like I said, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. And if you like what you saw, which I really hope you did, go ahead, like, share, subscribe. I'm really sorry if this wind is making hearing me difficult. It did get pretty windy today. But like I said, like, share, subscribe. Hit the little bell icon down below if you want to get notifications of when my new videos come out. I'm definitely going to try and be on here more often than what I have been. But again, that's kind of dependent upon how my work schedule is. So, till next time, that's going to be edited out. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Ain't a big river, but it's never dried up. Guess that's got to be good enough.